Hello guys, Arkan here. I just want to take some time to tell you guys that we have a Patreon set up for the channel. It's an additional way you can support us. So I will put the link in the YouTube cards and in the description. Thanks for checking it out and I hope you enjoyed the video. Hello guys, Arkan here. I am the darkness and the light, the flower on the wall, and the resplendent nightfall. Welcome back to Under the Full Bright Moon. So I received news that chapter 1 was released, and that means we could see more of Bowers. So come on, let's go! Okay guys, I will pick up from where I left off, but I will move back a little to also, connect from where the demo ended. So let's continue here. We step clear of the cottage, and I look back. Goodbye, Hawke. Take care, Feenyx. May the moon guide you to your destined fate. I feel a chill go up my spine at those words, and I don't know why. Even though Hawke is giving a friendly smile, there's something about it that makes me feel cold, even with the sunlight on my face. I look away quickly, scratching my head. He hadn't said or done anything problematic, so why do I feel so shaken? It takes a moment for my breathing to steady, Bowers and I starting in earnest down the path. A sense of dread settles on me, and my mind is pulled back to the past. My past. And I am struck with the possibility that all of it, my world, my life, my everything, was gone. Chapter 1, Part 2. The White Knight. We walk in silence for a long moment, my mind heavy with the lingering sensations and realizations of how permanent my situation may have just become. It isn't until I notice that we're moving away from the Wolfshire that my brain catches up to the here and now. Wait, aren't we heading into town? We are. But isn't it behind us? The wolf glances back toward the Wolfshire, then shakes his head. The Shire doesn't have any clothing to sell. Everything there is custom-made for werewolves and takes days to tailor. Plus all our pants come with tail holes, so unless you feel like having your arse crack out, I don't recommend them. We're headed to the human town. Corran is just under 5 miles northeast of here. 5 miles? The wolf gives me a bit of an incredulous look over his shoulder. That a problem? I want to let him know that it kinda sorta is a problem. I can't remember the last time I walked 10 miles in a day, and that's without the bruised rib cage. It's a little more than I'm used to. The wolf grunts, and again we're silent for a moment. If it proves too much, I can just carry you. How's that sound? There's a bit of a teasing tone to his voice, so I just teased back. Well, if the great Sir Bowers is offering, I wouldn't refuse his chivalry. I can hear the big wolf snort. We'll see. For now, your legs seem to be holding up just fine. We continue on in relative silence, and I just try to enjoy the sounds of nature all around me. 10 minutes in, however, Bowers takes a sudden right off the path, heading straight into the depths of the forest. Let's head this way. It's a little rougher, but should cut a mile off the trip. I hesitate a moment, then take a deep breath to steel myself, following. We weave our way through the underbrush and betwixt the trees, this way and that. I can't find any kind of marker to let me know where we're going, but Bowers moves with absolute confidence as if following a clearly defined path. Now and again I look up at the sky between the forest's canopy, watching the branches sway this way and that. It's not long before I can't even tell which way we came from, nor where I am, and yet the wolf maintains his sure and steady pace. A momentary sense of disorientation hits me, and I realize that I'm in a strange place with someone who is still ultimately a total stranger. And then I realize it's just me and him out here, no Hawke to keep him in check, no villagers to see anything. A prickle of fear travels up the back of my neck as I finally realize I am completely at this wolf's mercy. A wolf who has no reason to trust me. Part of me considers running, but we've made so many twists and turns that I don't even know which way I'd go. So I follow. We reach a very small clearing, and Bowers comes to a halt, looking down at a flat rock. He doesn't say anything for a long moment, clearly thinking. The silence between us feels almost oppressive.
Feenyx.
Yeah? I cough as my voice catches, cracking with worry. Yes?
I'm going to ask you a question, and I want an honest answer.
I can feel that prickle again. Okay?
Are you a good person?
I open my mouth to respond, but the question itself throws me off. I stand there in silence, processing it, before trying my best to give an honest answer. I don't think I am. I've been selfish. I've hurt those I've cared about without meaning to. I've run away from my problems and acted like I have it worse than everyone else when I know that's not true. When I know that's not true. But I want to be a good person. I've always wanted to, since before I can remember. Bowers' eyes meet mine, and it's like I can feel his gaze boring into my soul.
I see.
Another long silence.
Feenyx, do I frighten you?
I swallow. When you ask a question like that, kind of. The wolf heaves a sigh and nods.
Fair.
He shakes his head.
Do you understand that I would do anything to keep those close to me safe?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Then there is a selfish request I would ask of you.
The wolf looks up at the canopy himself in thought.
Would you be willing to stay with us for the time being and help keep the Wolfshire safe?
What? Me?
Yes, you.
But why me? The wolf scoffs.
Please at least try to not make me for a fool, child. You appeared in our lands dressed like that, bearing strange trinkets and practically coated in strange scents, and you expect me to think nothing of it?
I grimace inwardly. This wolf had me figured out from the start.
When you've been around as long as I have, you learn to pay very close attention to strange happenings.
He half smirks at me.
And you are very strange.
Hey! I feel the tension in the air let up a bit, and can't help but smirk back.
So, will you stay? I can't say why, but my gut is telling me that it will be important for you to be here.
Well, it is a big gut. Bowers thumps it proudly.
Hasn't steered me wrong yet.
I again consider my options. I still don't know where I am, but I'm starting to realize that I'm probably farther from home than I've ever been. And while I know that human civilization is close, some part of me tells me that Bowers is right, and that leaving the Wolfshire just feels like I'd be running away. Again. Alright, I'll stay. Bowers lets out a heavy sigh, smiling.
Oh, thank money.
The wolf's tail wags openly at that, and the tension of the moment disappears.
That said, I did bring you out here for a reason. Hold on.
The wolf kneels down in front of the big flat rock, getting his fingers under it and sliding it away, revealing a little stone hole. He reaches in and withdraws a full set of clothing, which includes a leather belt with a small knife and scabbard, all of which he offers to me. I accept them, appreciative but confused. Thank you. Do you usually bury clothing? The wolf gives me a bit of a sad smile.
Well, it is a common practice for our kind to bury some of our old belongings when we are turned into werewolves. It's sort of a funeral for our old lives. Those are my old clothes from back when I was a human, and now they are yours, though they might be a bit big for you.
I look down at what I'm holding, and can't help but feel a little bit of reverence for it. Again, thank you, but this feels kind of special. Why didn't we just go to Corran for an outfit?
Simple. Because you showed up. And when you get as old as me, you also learn that strange things almost always come with a heaping helping of trouble. And so I'd prefer to keep close to the Shire for now.
Ah, that all weirdly makes sense. The wolf turns his back to me, folding his arms.
Alright, go ahead and change.
What, out here in the woods?
I ain't exactly looking, and neither is anything that matters.
I look around, and he's right. It's just him and the trees. Even if a deer came by, it's not like it would care. Fine, fine. Quick as I can, I change out of my tattered set of clothing and into Bowers's. There's a musty smell that clings to them, but still they're clean and in good condition. Mind, they're way too big for me. I have to roll the pant legs up a bit, as well as cinch the belt as tight as it can go, but it works. Though the big shirt's surprisingly comfortable to move in, it feels like a shirt I'd sleep in. I move my keychain and the phone to the new pants. Just looking at them puts a feeling of unease in my mind. Alright, how do I look? You kinda look like, Link from The Legend of Zelda. The wolf turns back around and gives me an appraising look.
Huh. I didn't realize I used to be that much bigger than you. Still, they suit you. We'll get the pants hemmed for you, though.
I look down at myself, then gesture at the knife. You sure I'll need this?
What? The knife?
Bowers considers me again, then shakes his head.
Everyone needs a sharp knife, kiddo. Now, if you're all set, let's head back to the village. I'm not keen on leaving it unattended.
Yes, sir. Old clothes tucked under my arm, we make our way back through the woods. We move in silence again, and as we walk, I can't stop thinking about what I'm wearing. He gave me his last set of clothing. He trusts me. Hey, Bowers?
Yes?
I'm ready to tell you about me. The wolf's pace slows, and he looks over his shoulder.
You're sure? Like I said, as a visitor to the Shire, you don't have to share anything you don't want to.
No, I want to share this. Bowers nods, turning back to the trees and listening as we walk. I don't actually know where I am.
Explain?
I know where I came from. I came from a place where there are no werewolves, no magic, a place with cars and phones and airplanes. Do you know what any of those things are? Bowers comes to an unsteady stop, putting a paw to a nearby tree, and lowers his head.
Money give me strength.
I shirk away, worrying I may have said too much, but Bowers just keeps standing there.
What is an airplane?
It's a giant piece of flying metal that can move hundreds of people thousands of miles. The wolf raises his head, shaking it yet again, then clenches his fingers into a fist and half-heartedly pounds against the side of the tree. He takes a long, steadying breath, then continues walking.
Please, don't tell anyone else about that just yet, especially Hawke. If he learns you're from another world, he'll never shut up about it.
A heavy sense of dread weighs down on me, so it's true. I'm about as far from home as I could ever get. Why shouldn't I tell Hawke?
Because then he'll think you're a bloody champion and will insist on training you first chance he gets. I think someone who's traveled as far as you should take as much time as they can to just rest.
I give a bit of a tired laugh. Thanks.
So, whatever you choose to do with your life, stay here or go back. Just know we're here to help. Alright?
Again, thank you.
I have a million questions about your world, but I don't think I'm ready to hear the answers yet.
You know what? Same. The wolf gives a single, heavy, sardonic laugh at that. We make our way back out of the forest, back onto the path, and just a few hundred yards short of Bowers' house, the wolf comes to a stop.
Told you, when it rains, it pours.
I look down the path and can see two other humans, a man and a woman, talking animatedly among themselves. The woman looks our way and raises an arm, yelling something that I can't make out. The wolf raises and waves an arm back. What did she say?
Sounds like she said, Bowers, is that you?
We start closing the distance between us, the other two hurrying our way, wearing rather urgent expressions.
Looks like something's happened. That's Maira and Sal. I'd introduce you properly, but I don't think we'll have the chance.
Sal reaches us first, looking a bit out of breath. Bowers! There you are. It's awful.
Alright, calm down. What's happened?
Attacks just outside Corran. They're saying it was a werewolf. Bowers' expression immediately darkens, the fur rising on the back of his neck. He clamps his eyes shut and proceeds to take a deep, almost terrifyingly slow breath.
The damage?
Sal shakes his head, Maira looking away. A whole family, traveling by coach. 2 guards were investigating, and only 1 came back. Holy shit.
Do they think it was one of ours?
Of course they do, Bowers. They're scared and confused. They're going to jump to the worst conclusions.
You know it wasn't, though, right?
Of course we know that. But they don't. We want to try and reason with them.
Don't. Not this soon after an attack.
Them?
The leader and guards of Corran. The townsfolk are bound to be scared and outraged. Now is not a good time to try to be diplomatic.
Maira regards me unsurely. And who's this?
A visitor. But that's not important. You shouldn't be here. Traveling this far outside the town was an enormous risk.
Sal looks a bit incredulous. Well, how else were we going to tell you about the attacks? Safe or no, we didn't really have a choice. Sal? You're not the only one who gets to be a part of this fight, Bowers. We've put just as much work as you into trying to get the world to accept your community. Bowers takes a sharp inhale through his nose, holding his paws up defensively.
Alright. Point made. I'm sorry. I'll have to discuss this with the pack. First, though, I need to escort you back to Corran. Can you wait in my house for a little while?
Sal looks visibly displeased, clearly holding back his honest thoughts.
Please?
He scoffs, then gives a frustrated shrug. Fine, that will have to do. But we are going to discuss this on the way back to town.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Bowers puts a heavy hand to my back, leading me away.
I shouldn't be long. Make yourselves comfortable.
See you soon. They turn and make their way further down the path, but Bowers just guides me right back into the tall grass and trees. Aren't we taking the path too?
We're not going to my house. We're going to Hawke's. I need to talk to him, and if we take the main road, every wolf in the Shire is going to stop us and want to be introduced.
Huh, makes sense. I'm starting to realize how much this guy seems to be 2 steps ahead in most of the actions he takes. So, have there been a lot of attacks lately?
Yes. Up until now, they've only targeted wildlife. We've come across a number of large animal carcasses that have been torn apart. This is the first account of people being hurt. The problem is that there are almost no signs of the animals being eaten, just killed for the sake of being killed. Whatever's out there has proven that it's both capable and vicious. And so you can understand why I had to pin you to the ground yesterday. Right now it's extremely dangerous to be running around and screaming into the night.
I feel only a momentary desire to object, but I can't really argue with his reasoning. And he did already apologize. Right. We walk in silence a bit, and once again I'm feeling unsure of what to say. Out of habit, I reach into my pocket and take out my phone, seeing my reflection in the black screen. Okay, I think I want to take some time to check out the entries. Okay, so journal, there's nothing. My notes. Okay, I think this is the same as the ones I already checked in the demo. How about the characters? Phoenix Quill. I think there's an update on Bowers' description. So, like many others of the Wolf Shire, Bowers is a human turned werewolf under tragic circumstances. Serving as the Shire's alpha, his strength and loyalty are devoted to those he protects. Well, he sure seems passionate about his role in this little village. So he's the alpha, the leader, and I assume that means he works hard to keep everyone safe, including me. I guess I can appreciate that. I just wish he could have tried to be a little more delicate about it. Why do I get the feeling he might be a softie, deep down? Although accepted as the Shire's leader, his rough-edged nature doesn't always mesh well with others, so he's mindful to delegate the more delicate matters to the other pack leaders, which usually just means his closest friend, Hawke. His personal pack is comprised of those with the greatest stamina. Okay, how about... is there anything new? Sage of the Wolf Shire, serving the roles of healer, enchanter, alchemist, and honorary pack leader, granting him a place in the council despite having no pack to lead. Overworked, underpaid, and just a touch underappreciated, he makes up the deficit by being a little too ready to put others in their place. But beneath all his sass and salt is a genuine care for anyone and everyone in need. Okay, that's Hawke. What else? Is there anything new? No notes? Okay, so just wanted to check that out for a bit. I'm guessing houses with wiring and plugs aren't a thing here, are they? Bowers gives a bit of a tired huff.
I've never heard of such things, so no.
Damn. I pocketed my phone again and let out a sigh. Ah well, the internet was just a constant source of anxiety anyway. We finally break back through the tree line to another house. Whoa! This place is definitely nicer than Bowers's. I step up to the fence and look at the sheer variety of plants growing in the little yard around the house. I reach out to touch a particularly beautiful flower and...
Don't.
A large hand takes hold of my shirt and pulls me away. What? What was that for?
Those are dangerous plants that Hawke uses in his alchemical research.
I look back to the foliage in question, feeling somewhere between confused and concerned. So why is he growing dangerous plants out in the open like that?
Let me clarify. The plant is harmless, but Hawke will have your hide if you mess with his reagents.
I look up at the house again and still can't quite make sense of something. So, aren't you the alpha? The big special werewolf in charge around here?
I wouldn't use those words exactly, but something like that. Why?
So why aren't you in the nicer house?
Oh, location.
Eh?
My home faces the main road into the village, in the deepest part of the forest. If any threats come our way, I'll be the first to know. Just so we're clear, kiddo, my role is a leader and protector, not some special dignitary who gets the nicest house.
Huh.
Now, if you're done staring, come on.
He leads me around to the front of the building and wraps his large knuckles on the door. We both hear a whole lot of shuffling and moving around inside. One moment. More shuffling, something that sounds like something hard falling on the floor, a bit of cursing, and then... Yes? Oh, it's you.
It sure is.
Hawke's eyes settle on me, and he just openly stares. I can practically see the gears turning in his head.
You buried those clothes for a reason, Bowers. And then I dug them back up for a reason. Are you going to invite us in or not?
Hawke lowers a little, shaking his head and stepping back inside. We follow. Before we end the video, I would like to give a massive thank you to our patrons. Your support means more than the world to us. It means the galaxy to us. And a special shout out to AGN for becoming a Lightfall associate. Thank you so much. Check out patreon.com/arkandray07 to be a patron today. Ciao!